Hey there, welcome to my channel. Today we're jumping into the 16th episode of Love, Death, and Robot. Our story begins with a young couple, Ethan and Amelia, moving into their new apartment. Ethan, the husband, is lugging around a few boxes while Amelia spots something interesting, an old refrigerator left behind by the landlord. Ethan is intrigued by the compressor's unique placement on top. Unlike modern refrigerators, he suggests that it might make more sense for the compressor to be on top, allowing the warm air to rise away from the fridge. While Amelia nods, showing minimal attention, she then retrieves a bottle of wine and asks Ethan if he'd like a drink. Agreeing, Ethan opens the old fridge to get some ice, finding it packed with frost. Despite this, he manages to extract a small ice cube. The couple raises their glasses for a brief toast. Before Ethan can take a sip, he notices something encased within the ice. Fishing it out, he shows it to Amelia, asking her to confirm what's inside the ice cube. Amelia examines it closely, becoming just as astonished as her husband. To verify, she grabs a magnifying glass for a closer inspection, discovering a tiny mammoth figurine with spears embedded in its body. Wondering if there might be more, Amelia promptly clears out the contents and is astounded by what she finds. In response, Ethan marvels at the presence of an entire functioning medieval city within the freezer. Everything inside is in motion at a rapid pace, with miniature people going about their daily lives, seemingly unaffected by the two giants peering into their city. Amelia comments that what they're witnessing doesn't seem to make sense, and Ethan concurs. She identifies it as an early medieval city when Ethan mentions the extinction of woolly mammoths during the late Neolithic period. Amelia brushes it off, agreeing with her husband to mask her own uncertainty. Ethan buries the miniature mammoth in a pot of soil, appearing somewhat saddened, but Amelia lightens the mood by suggesting it might make for excellent fertilizer. Their curiosity gets the better of them, and they decide to check the freezer once more. To their amazement, everything has undergone a dramatic transformation. What was once a medieval city has evolved into a modern metropolis during the Industrial Revolution. Factories and railways sprawl across the landscape, filling the sky with smoke. The couple realizes that only 10 minutes have passed for them, but it's been an entire era for the miniature inhabitants. Ethan notices two tiny figures near a construction site, wondering if the residents see them as deities. These individuals are actually mocking them. Moments later, modern structures begin to emerge, and Gale identifies flying objects as airplanes. They realize the miniature populace has reached the present day. Suddenly, a missile plunges into the heart of the city, triggering an explosion that momentarily blinds Rob. Gale rushes to his aid and Rob panics, exclaiming that tactical nukes are detonating in their freezer. His face is as red as a tomato, and Gale can barely contain her amusement. Gale hands her husband a shiny toaster, revealing how the heat from the explosion made his face glow red. The couple watches in shock as they hear screams. Gale decides to close the freezer. An hour passes, and Rob proposes that they check the freezer once more. He hopes that the miniature people had an opportunity to rebuild their city, but Gale gently advises him to consider the possibility that they did not survive. Rob decides to open the freezer anyway. The freezer radiates with vibrant cities and soaring vehicles. Gale likens it to the Emerald City, but with a futuristic twist, featuring more advanced technology and fewer emerald hues. However, things take an unexpected turn as a colossal pyramid emerges in the heart of the futuristic city. It gleams brightly and draws power from the connecting bridges. Gradually, it transforms into a diamond-shaped fortress enveloping the entire city, before culminating in a dazzling burst of energy akin to a star's explosion. Streaks of light emanate from the epicenter, filling Rob and Gale's kitchen with a mesmerizing glow. The spectacular display captivates them both. Subsequently, the streaks of light return to the freezer, coalesce into a sphere, and vanish. This leaves Rob and Gale puzzled, wiping the smiles from their faces. Rob wonders if the miniature people will ever return, but Gale expresses doubt, acknowledging Rob's attachment to the miniature society. She hugs him for comfort and then closes the freezer, deciding to call it a day. The following morning, Rob prepares cups of coffee for them both without exchanging words. They both ponder the miniature civilization inside their freezer, holding on to a glimmer of hope that the miniature inhabitants might still exist. They open the freezer once more, only to find a chilling mist pouring out, even though it's unplugged. Inside, they witness another ice age, where primitive sapiens feast on the carcass of a colossal brachiosaurus. It seems that life inside the freezer has restarted. Suddenly, a roar signals the arrival of a Tyrannosaurus rex, causing the sapiens to scatter. One of them becomes trapped between the dinosaur's teeth, and the last sapient tumbles as the T-Rex closes in, preparing for the final strike.